Okay, this is Arturo Esparza from the Eastside Primetime Network, and we're pleased as punch because now all of a sudden we are on the last leg of our rotation. You know, we have 5 shows that are coming up. We just did the Veterans Corner Part 2, and then we also had Beatrice's show. She's doing a thing, Beatrice Estrella. Of course, my beautiful Teresa does her show, which is the Woman's Talk Show, okay, the Eastside Primetime Woman, Latina View. And we also have my show, Eastside Primetime. And now I am so honored to introduce this young lady, our latest star. You know, we've been very blessed because we've had really good talent come through our doors, in spite of Ruben. We have real good people come through here. And may I introduce to you now the latest addition to our channel. This is Allasondra Camacho. How you doing, mija? And yeah, go ahead. You can talk to it. Don't worry about it. It's not going to bite. And what's the name of your show, babe?
Empowered with Allasondra.
And there it is. So stay tuned. It's coming up right now here on the Eastside Primetime Network. Don't forget, 25th, fundraiser, Green Kernel.
Hi, I'm Allasondra Camacho, and today we are with Angela Dorough, and we are going to be talking about young females being empowered.
Yes, I'm very excited about what Allasondra is doing here. She really wants to do something different for young people. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, I want to get young females thinking independent and letting them know that they have the power to achieve anything that they want to in life.
So I'm kind of curious because it's been a while since I've seen you, right?
Yeah.
We aren't even at the same school anymore.
Yeah, sadly.
Yes.
This is my favorite teacher.
My favorite former student here. What gave you the idea of doing your own talk show? That's such an amazing idea.
Well, I first had my business, and my business is called Alpha Girl Empowerment. And, you know, the same thing, empowering young females, letting them know that they have the power. And I met Arturo at summer school, and he was talking about how he has shows and stuff, and he asked me if I wanted to do a show, and I said yeah.
Awesome.
And I took the opportunity, because that's what I'm about, taking opportunities in life.
Right.
And I said, well, I have my own business. Would it be okay if I could, base it on my business? So that's how we got
so
started.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you have decided to go ahead and take this opportunity. Not a lot of people get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And for you to have the courage to move forward despite not having experience, it's truly inspiring. I hope that some of the older people that watch you will get excited and say, hey, I can do something that maybe I've always wanted to do and I've been holding back all this time.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the point of this show, this talk show, is to get, you know, females to be fearless and to not hold back and to be dominant, fierceful, independent females in society and to make a difference every day.
Well, I like what you're talking about with that because I have seen over the years teaching high school students and actually even working with other teachers, a lot of female teachers, and I have seen where there are some really strong females out there, and I have also seen where women have fear and they don't want to move ahead, and a lot of times they don't know how to go about it. They don't feel like they have time to put into the pursuits, the things that they're passionate about. Yeah. I also feel like maybe they don't feel the support. And so there are always things that seem to be holding them back from moving into what they really have as a heart's desire. What would you say to somebody who has never really tried, but they have these ideas and they really want to? I have seen in the classroom, and I have seen even amongst women my own age and even older, where they may have dreams and things that they wanted to pursue, but they have never moved forward into that area. And I think there's a variety of reasons, but here you are, and you're not even 16 yet, only 15 years old, and right out of the box, you're just going straight for something that you've wanted to do. So I'm really amazed by that, and I'm wondering, how can we get other women to go for things that they want to do? How can we do that? How can we help?
That's a great question. And one way is, not too many females are aware on how to go out and tackle their goals, because that's kind of like a male based thing to do. In society, we don't really tell females, go out and make the money, but my dad has had a really big impact on me, thinking like a man, how not to hold back and to go out into life and pursue my goals and to conquer my fears and my life. So, I think it all starts on what you teach yourself and what kind of environment you live in. So, if you're not living in that type of environment to be motivated all the time, maybe start doing some meditations, connect with your inner self, get a paper and pen and plot down your goals and identify who you are as a person, because if you don't identify who you are, then you're not going to be able to know how to go into life knowing how you are. So if you know that you need to be more motivated, more tougher, more whatever, then you need to identify that and become that.
So what I'm hearing is that you're going to help people to get focused.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the things that I've been teaching a lot about this year and really last year, because now I'm teaching AVID, and it's been a while since I have taught that. And if the audience here does not know, AVID is a national program that was designed to help students get into college. Typically students that are underrepresented. Maybe their parents didn't go to college, maybe they're in a minority group. And we do a lot of things to help support those students, but I see that focus is so important for those students. And unless they start to pinpoint the exact goals, exactly where they're at and where they want to go, then I don't see them moving forward. And I have seen many, though, because we're working on these focus exercises, that are starting to break out and do some things that are amazing to themselves, things that they didn't think that maybe they were going to be able to do. For example, there was a student in my class 2 years ago who was kind of timid and shy, and now she's the first one to volunteer to do public speaking kinds of things.
That's
and
great.
She even put herself out there to run for a little council position that I have. I have like a leadership group for my AVID students, and I'm really thinking about leadership with females in particular, because for the first time I'm teaching 50 girls.
Oh, wow.
PE, 6th grade PE. It's their first time having PE. It's my first time being a PE teacher. It's just one section a day, but I just look at them and I think there's so much raw potential here. So what are the things that I can do to help them learn to work together as a team? Because I see in middle school and in high school a lot of backbiting between females.
Yes. I think the reason why females do all that backbiting is because, they don't have the self-esteem. They, they see a girl that's pretty, and then if they don't feel pretty, so then they want to, torture that female and, do a bunch of hurtful things, and it's just not right. And that's another thing that I want my business to help other females with, is to have enough confidence in themselves so they could go out and uplift other females and be nice, Right.
What I feel is that if the girls will learn not to work against each other, talk about each other, but start to talk to each other, start to try to love one another, they're going to get so much further together than we will be if we are continuing to be divided as women. And
Yeah.
we need to be women empowering other women. Come on, people.
Yeah,
Come on,
we do.
ladies.
And
we really need to.
and
we have to help each other.
we're amazing. Girls, females, we're amazing. We could do a lot of amazing things. And if
We don't have to wait for a man. Thank you.
Yes, and if we build like a force of alpha females, because that's my thing, alpha females, the future is going to be amazing. And just females working with each other. And I just have this idea in my head, like badass females working together. Can I say badass?
Well, you just did. So, I feel very honored and also inspired that you would ask me to join you on your very first show.
Yes.
Because I'll
had
share
to.
something with you, and that's that I've had a dream of having a talk show with a friend of mine, and we're a lot older than you are, and we never took the first step. And we had all kinds of plans on paper, but we just didn't get out and do it. So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
It makes me think that maybe I should go out and start mine, these
Yeah.
ideas that I had. And really look at what we need to do to lift each other up.
Yeah.
Because there's too many problems that can be solved if we would work together, if we would start to listen to other people and not just hear that same script that we hear over and over again, like, well, maybe I can't trust that person. I don't know, maybe I need to talk about them because everyone else is doing that. We need to step out of that.
Yeah, and be a leader, not a follower. If you're being a follower all your life, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get where everybody else is going to go. And, me, I didn't really pick that, part of school ever to talk about other people. But I will take credit for what I've done. I'm here. I'm doing amazing things with my life. And, I just always thought of the things that matter, and talking about other people and bringing down other people, it doesn't just hurt them, but it also hurts that person that's doing all that. There's karma, and karma is a real thing.
Well, we don't want to put things out there that aren't positive.
Yeah.
Because when you're putting out energy that's not going in the right direction, then what are you doing? How are you sowing for the future? What are you going to reap from that later on? And even if things aren't going your way right now, but you're doing the right thing, eventually it's going to get straightened out. And you're going to be okay because you've been blessing other people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is, how do you think I should talk with my students right now about cyberbullying with the females? Because that's something I want to kind of bring to those sixth grade girls. They're kind of right on that verge of starting to
not good.
Either they're going to be friends, right, or they're going to sort of become frenemies.
Yeah.
We've seen that in movies like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice to those girls?
Okay. Well, we have girls that are, getting older, developing. They might be jealous, because, all
So that's
that.
an issue.
That's
about
an
the
issue
body.
about the body.
Okay.
But yeah, just,
What have you seen people doing?
What have I seen people doing?
And how can they start to sort of like be support to each other? What are they doing with their phones? Because some of the adults may not know.
Yeah.
That are watching.
Kids are mean. They're very mean. They will, stalk your soccer practice. They will take pictures of you while you're walking in the hallway. They will.
And what do they do with the pictures? Can you describe that?
There's many apps, social media apps. There's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and they'll post it on there.
Do they put words on that? Do they
Yeah, you
make
can
comments?
you can do all that with all them.
So this is an area where we really need to be aware of what students are doing, what kids might be exposed to. But really it starts with what kind of instruction are they having about at home? Like, that it's not okay to be talking bad about other people.
I mean, I would
Right?
think too, because like, I mean,
Just because your friends are doing it.
Yeah, and like you would think that kids would have parents that discipline them, but
Right,
I mean,
but it's not happening.
I go to school and I see kids. I'm like, do you not have parents at home? Like what's the deal with
Right.
you?
And then another concern is some students can get very depressed and upset because things have been said about them on social media,
yeah,
and they feel like their self-confidence just starts to go down, and then you can just
yeah,
completely tank. They can become very isolated,
yeah.
and that can so easily be avoided if we would have some kindness
can.
between the students.
And also, sometimes you don't always have to talk to the bully about it. Sometimes you could talk to the victim about it. So if you're a victim of, bullying and stuff, you should definitely start working on yourself. You should build, strength within you, mental strength and emotional strength to handle these situations and learn how to handle these situations, and know that, first of all, high school isn't going to last forever. School
true.
isn't going to last forever, and you're going to, you're maybe not see these people in 5 years. So just really build a connection with yourself. Learn to love yourself. And if
Yes.
you love yourself, eventually all the stuff that people say about you isn't going to matter, because you know who you are as a person. And, just have belief in yourself and create goals. Get hobbies, join sports, get into something that you love.
Right.
I mean, I don't see the problem with starting your own business at a young age. I did, and it's great. Read books about leadership, about self-love, about positivity, and spread it.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I think I'm going to share that with the girls. I also think it's awareness, paying attention to when people have their phones out.
Yeah.
And when you see somebody who's about to take that picture, being courageous
Yes.
and bold enough to stand up to it and say, hey, they don't even know that you're about to take their picture.
That's amazing.
That's so not right. Let other people know what's happening.
Yeah, because not too
raise
many
that
kids will say
awareness.
anything. They'll be like,
Right.
oh yeah,
Don't just
send it to me after, It's, but then that's the other thing, kids, they want to fit in. They want to fit in. They want to, do everything that everybody else is doing. And they just need to realize that, if you be a follower, it's not going to get you anywhere. Like, it's really not. And take my advice. I never was a follower, even though I got hated for it. People like, oh, why are you wearing that to school? Why do you have your own business? Why are you doing this? But because I had belief in myself, and I did all those things. I read books. I have self-love. I was positive, and I never talked about other people.
I was somebody like you a little bit in high school, where I maybe didn't follow the rest of the crowd, and at times I would feel like maybe I'm not completely accepted. Maybe I'm out there doing a lot of crazy stuff. I was doing a lot of acting, and I wasn't afraid to make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
It didn't really bother me, but I could see that it made other people
Mad.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they had a problem handling who I was and being larger than life. They just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And so I would hear people saying things about me from time to time. But I knew that there was nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I knew that
absolutely.
maybe I just was a little more courageous, a little more bold, a little less afraid to be out there and do something in front of everybody else, where they were just kind of shy and kind of poking fun. You know, like, look at her. I think she's kind of like crazy. No, I'm up here. I'm acting. I'm playing a part, or I'm having a lot of fun at the prom. I'm just out here dancing, and it's not my fault that you don't want to get into that. You don't want to do that. So I know a little bit about how that feels.
Yeah.
But we just keep moving forward, and we don't let those kind of things get to us, because we know that we have a destination. It's the focus. It's going back to that focus. And I knew that my destination was that I was going to finish college no matter what was going to happen to me, despite the fact that my parents didn't even want me to go to college.
Wow.
I had to fight with my mom to go to college. She disowned me.
Wow.
She said, "You are not my daughter if you leave this, go out those doors to go to UCLA." And I went, and it was very emotional. It was really hard. She didn't talk to me for a whole month. And I thought, this is terrible. And eventually she got the idea that I needed to do that.
Yeah.
But in her mind, I was doing something terrible. Just awful, because I was leaving the house.
Yeah.
And so it's so important that if you have an idea for something that's good for you, that you don't let people get in your way.
Yeah.
If I would have listened to that, I wouldn't be talking to you today. I don't know what I would have.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have met you.
That's right. That's right.
And Miss Dorough, Angela, I could say that.
Yes.
I could call her by her first name, because I don't go to school anymore.
That's right. We're not in the same school anymore.
I don't go to the same school anymore. She was always a really big help, and I loved going to her class. She always, I remember I made a slideshow, and I put all these motivational quotes, and people were like, "Why don't she have a bunch of motivational quotes?" And you're like, "That's good." Like, yeah, you know,
That's right.
it's good. And she would always be talking about, you know, your full potential, and being motivated, and being nice and kind to others. So, Miss Dorough, you know, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're amazing.
think
She's an amazing teacher.
I think it's very important that with young people that we are trying to foster a positive environment, that we're doing things that will encourage each other, because I've heard for too long kids talking down to other kids.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, you're like a schoolboy, you're this, you're that. How come you're, you're following along with what the teacher says?" Well, yes, there's a purpose behind that. Let's not waste the opportunity that we have in the American education system. And now that I'm over here on Facebook, and I have friends in Pakistan that I've never met before, but I am seeing what is going on in other places on a day-to-day basis. There are students out there that don't have access to a school, and after school, other kids are teaching them in an alley at 4 o'clock after they get out of class, and they teach them from 4 to 6. It's kids teaching kids.
Wow.
And then I think about the kids in my room who don't want to come in and listen to a teacher that they get to have, somebody who's an expert in learning. They don't want to do the work that we're doing. We're guiding them. We're trying to help them. And I just think there's a real lack of appreciation, and not really being real about how we have an awesome opportunity in this country.
Yeah,
and to be thankful for it. So just parents, I encourage you to get all over your kids' case.
Yeah.
Get into those backpacks. Get into their agendas. Get into whatever their stuff is, and hold them accountable. Because once they get out of school, they're not going to have that free opportunity anymore. And I know that our taxes pay for it, but nobody's paying right up front at the door.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that people aren't maybe as appreciative as they could be. But that's just something that I've been thinking of lately is, my goodness, in other countries we don't have this great situation, and then what are my kids doing? What are they doing? So I want them to be encouraging. I want them to embrace every opportunity, and that's why I'm so proud of you today, because you're embracing this opportunity.
Thank you.
Which is awesome.
Yes. Well, that's it for today. And we will definitely have Angela back on the show. I love her.
All
She's
right.
my favorite.
Right on.
And I want to wish my mom. Why don't we have my mom up here? Come on, Mom.
Come on up, Mom.
You look pretty.
This is the woman behind the amazing young lady.
The woman behind the woman.
Hi.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thank you for driving me out here today.
Anytime, my love.
Acting all nice. I'm just playing. Okay, well, thank you, and stay tuned. We will definitely be posting more shows about empowering females.
Lots more excitement is coming on Allasondra's Empowerment.
Thank you.